Hi, I'm Merrick D'Amato.
And I'm Classic Gamer.
And welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars. Now, I'd like to apologize for last episode. It was a little cut off at the top of the screen there. It probably didn't really change much, but I noticed it, and I'm very, very sorry about that.
Yeah, these things happen in recordings.
The window slightly off-sized, and I didn't catch it before we started, so it's fixed now. But yeah, not like I'm apologizing for like a whole episode's missing. It's just it bugged me. Just so you know, it was a recording error, not an editing error. Now we go to Marib.
Yes, we do. One of the longest bits in the game.
The stand was being watched by a young boy, maybe 12 years old. I didn't really want to lug the rifle around with me.
You'll need it, George, trust me.
The rifle looked dangerous to the user.
You don't know how to use a rifle?
Well, it looks broken.
Ah, bad-tempered as well as ugly.
Hey! How dare you, George?
Embarrassed as I am to admit it, you can spot an American tourist a mile off.
I'm really glad you said
It was a
American
guess,
tourist and not
but
like
I figured the woman to be an
just
American
a tourist in general.
Just call me Sherlock.
You're not Sherlock.
I will not call you Sherlock.
How did this guy make a living selling useless old machine parts in the middle of nowhere?
This is a city, George.
It's a village. This place is a village.
Hey there, young fella. Speak you the English?
Oh, for fuck's sake, George.
Speak you the Anglais? Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, si, and indeed oui. And rather better than you by the sound of it.
Yeah.
My name is Nijo. Welcome to my grand emporium of quality merchandise.
What, a brick and back store?
Hey, it's not the product, it's a salesman.
What do you think of this, eh?
Oh, sir, what a splendid plaything. One day, when I am rich, I am going to build a world-renowned collection of brightly colored balls.
Are you serious?
In deadly earnest. People will come from far and wide to see my
Yes?
collection. The Rockefellers and the Gettys can keep their hoards of so-called fine art. But answer me this. What good is a Picasso, I ask you, if you cannot bounce it off a wall?
You may have a point.
Oh, a comedian. No surprise there.
Have you seen this man before?
No, sir, I'm glad to say. Cold eyes.
Do you know the name Merlin?
I'm afraid not, old bean.
Look at this. A lifting key as used by Parisian sewer workers.
Callooh, Calais, sir. I must remember this day for posterity. My grandchildren will be fascinated.
I'm not sure if he's sarcastic or not.
What do you make of this?
Well, beyond the obvious, very little. That pattern seems very familiar, though.
This plaster was very useful in Ireland.
Really? Your fund of traveller's tales never ceases to enthrall me.
Here, shake hands, Nijo.
I'd rather not, sir. At least not while you've got that shake and shock buzzer clumsily concealed in your palm.
Oh,
You put it...
noticed.
Outlawed in 3 separate arms limitation conventions, those are.
You put it on in front of him, George.
Yes. Also, this specific type of joy buzzer we have is apparently against the Geneva Convention?
What do you think of this?
Excellent workmanship. 12th or 13th century. I wish I had things like that for sale.
I'll sell it to you. Trade it for your
If
cat.
you did, you probably would have enough money to sell your stall and get that big dream you want.
Yeah.
What do you make of this?
A man-sized double-ply tissue stained with Bestheimer's number 12 white pancake grease paint, apparently.
Oddly specific and oddly correct.
Does the word Templar mean anything to you?
Templar. Templar. Templar! Why, yes, of course!
It does?
Yes! A splendid series of books by Mr. Leslie Chatteris, featuring the roguish Mr. Simon Templar.
Great. That's a real help, Nijo. Anything else?
The Saint television program, featuring Mr. Roger Moore of the quizzical eyebrow, and a stick man with a halo. Bing!
For those of you who don't know, Roger Moore is one of the many men to play James Bond.
Yes. 7?
7?
Is it 7? Sean Connery,
Sean Connery,
Roger Moore, Timothy
George
Dalton,
Timothy
George
Dalton.
Lazenby, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig. 6.
6. At time of recording.
So all Templar means to you is Roger Moore.
I only watched it for the stick man with the halo. Bing! He was better animated.
So I'm correct in saying that the word Templar doesn't mean much to you.
Well, there was the Order of Knights who were wiped out in an inquisition in 1312, I suppose.
That's them. What else do you know?
Just how much information do you think there is on a Trivial Pursuit card?
A what?
From the medieval edition. We had it on the stand a couple of years ago. Ask me what a feuter is. Go on, I know all this stuff.
Never mind. Okay,
Remember
forget about the Templars for a minute. What do you know about knights?
Like the Crusaders, they came to the East on an insane and pointless mission. They sacrificed thousands of lives, including their own, for insensate pride. How anyone can find them romantic confounds me.
You know what else they sent at one point?
What?
They sent children. I'm not joking. They sent children to fight in the Holy Land.
Well, I
They
suppose
all
there
died.
wasn't
They all died. Every single one was killed.
I suppose there wasn't an age where they could like say who could go and fight and who couldn't.
No. But this was like, it was a specific priest who was like, hey, this is a good idea, and they did it, and it went horribly.
That's not a very friendly cat you got there, Nijo.
No, sir. It is a very unfriendly cat.
Why do you keep it?
Oh, it's not mine. It just rests where it pleases. And today it pleases to rest there. As Kipling would say, it is a cat that walks by itself.
Fiercely independent.
And it smells.
So, this is your stand?
Oh, yes, sir. Though stand does not begin to do it justice. The finest in this bustling metropolis.
This is a bustling metropolis?
Well, not per se, no.
I like this kid.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, sir. I learned from tapes that my uncle procured.
Oh, a language course.
No, sir. Jeeves and Wooster.
A-
Gussie, Fink, Noto, Aunt Agatha, what ho?
For those of you who are unaware, and I'm delighted and honored to be able to introduce you to this, Jeeves and Wooster is a masterpiece of British comedy, starring the masters themselves, Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. As a rich twit, Hugh Laurie, and his basically master of everything butler, Stephen Fry. Jeeves. It is one of the great British comedy series. It is up there with Faulty Towers and Blackadder.
Fawlty Towers is my personal favourite, featuring the amazing and legendary John Cleese.
My favorite isn't actually one of the ones I listed. It's a show called Black Books from the early 2000s. Because I watch it. It's very cynical humor, and I watched it at the right time when I was in high school. That it kind of just resonated with me.
Yeah, fair. So, for those who haven't seen it or are overseas, I would recommend watching the ones we mentioned. Fawlty Towers, one, Blackadder being another. Both offer a degree of different type of comedy, but are very what's the word? Like Fawlty Towers is very sort of it's 70s comedy, so be forewarned, there might be some episodes that you will find offensive, namely one infamous one called The Germans, with a chat between Basil and the Major. The Major says some quite racist things. That the episode was actually taken off BBC during the time when George Floyd was murdered in 2020 because of the racism things. But
that's something that it's like, because there's a difference between a show itself being racist and the character in the show being racist. Because what I remember, the Major's racist, but the show is not.
No, the show is not. But the thing is, I understand why they removed it, because there was like racial tensions going on, mainly over in the States, but also over here in the UK. But you have to remember, and this is not a degree of insults to anyone, the times of when it was filmed, that stuff was kind of said as a way of talking, you could say. People didn't frown on it like they do now. Like, if you say something, anything can be deemed as racist now. Whereas back then, saying some things then was just how you would describe it.
I think
it was
the biggest, this is from a different time, but still, that I've encountered is, I found this, this Chinese phrase book from like the 50s or 60s, and I opened it out of curiosity, and the first words I read were, the Chinese don't really have a written language. I was like, oh god. That's just opening your book on this language by stating that it's not really a language is kind of not great.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a... Well, they do. I mean, they have
several.
Mandarin,
they have Cantonese.
They have a written alphabet as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Just because it doesn't use our alphabet doesn't make it less of a language.
I mean, I think the thing that stands out for me with that was when I watched some comedians like do some like Russian jokes, and like a guy was saying that kind of like everything, if we say like fluffy rabbits and teddy bears, like that doesn't sound dangerous and menacing, but this guy was saying like when you say it in a Russian accent, it sounds dangerous and menacing. Fluffy rabbits and teddy bears. It's like, that does sound menacing. It may. I mean, there are Russian people who are,
but it was just anything said by a Russian man sounds like a threat, while anything said by a Russian woman sounds sexy. Apparently. So I think the biggest, like, wow, this has not aged well, and even then at the time can't have been accepted, it probably wasn't great, is H.P. Lovecraft for me.
Well, there was one of the comedians I watched, he says he moved to New York and he was always afraid he was going to get beaten up or mugged. So when he got approached and says, like, well, do you know what neighborhood you're in? And he goes, whenever he thinks he's going to get beaten up or mugged, he fakes a Russian accent. So when he's asked that, he goes, you think this bad neighborhood?
But before we get back, I had one experience with Russian people when I used to work. Well, I had a lot, but one notable stereotype experience with Russian people when I used to work at a pawn shop. I went in one day, and I live in Canada, for those who don't know. So when it's winter, winter is winter. Winter is fecking serious down here.
Yep.
So I went into work one day. It was a massive blizzard. I was like, I as soon as I got in, I lived relatively close. Immediately called the person who was having the shift with me, and asked like, "Hey, have you left for work yet?" He said no. I was like, "All right, just trust me, stay home. It's only a 5-hour shift today. I don't think we're gonna have any customers. Stay home. It's too dangerous out there." Because he comes by bus and like the roads were ice, so that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, well,
I was basically there to shovel out the front walk anytime it got snowed in, which was frequent, and run hot water through the pipes to make sure they didn't burst. And I only had 2 customers. The entire shift, only 2.
Do you know what? I find it incredible.
Those 2, they were Russian. And it's just like, you think you think your Canadian winter can stop us? You have not seen Russian winter. Russian winter. Russian winter won World War II. Russian winter defeat Napoleon. Because it's true.
Well, whenever like it snows in the UK, because I'm from the UK. People who don't know, like. There are different.
I would have hoped it was obvious.
Yeah, I hope so too. But
judging by the accent,
I often have had people go to me, like mainly Americans. I like your English accent. I was like, thank you. Like,
there's
just me.
I can't remember which comedian, but there's no such thing as an English accent. This is how it would sound when they're pronounced properly.
Yeah, if you live in like if you speak very posh, it's like, oh, hello, how are you doing? It's good, sir. That's very posh. Whereas if you are from London, from like the east end of London, you're like, all right, mate, or you're like geese. Like that's very kind of like East London kind of talk. You know what I mean, mate? Yeah, bruv. I don't talk like that.
My 2 favorite accents to do are Scottish and Louisiana. It's because obviously a Scottish accent's just a grand old time to do. It's a fun voice. It feels comfortable once you get into the swing of it. It takes a while to get into the swing of it. Once you're in the swing of it, you're in the swing of it.
I would highly recommend.
And there's just something satisfying about the drawl of a Louisiana accent, if done properly. It's one of the few southern state, one of the few accents south of the old Mason-Dixie that is actually appealing to listen to, in my opinion.
I mean, going back to what you were saying about the winter and the Russians, like saying like you think this bad, it's not. You haven't seen Russian winter. Like most of Europe laugh at the UK when we have snow on the ground because I kid you not, we have had trains, airports, and planes be grounded because of half an inch of snow. Less than half an inch of snow, actually.
We'll get
about
back,
10 cent.
We'll get back to this. We are holding up the game, but we'll get back to this.
How much are those books there on the shelf?
Have you any Syrian pounds?
I think I might have a couple of Irish punt.
Then they're too expensive for you, sir.
What's an Irish punt?
I have no idea.
I think George is lying.
So long, Nijo.
I didn't know they had Syrian pounds, I'll be honest.
Let me check.
I'm sure most places, like, I know this is the Middle East, but are euros now.
I'm pretty sure the Middle East doesn't use euros.
No.
Syrian pound? Euros. Yeah.
They still use them, do they?
In the 90s, they did.
What do they use now?
Still Syrian pounds. Shit. All right.
Are they not? Are they quite an unusual looking coin, or?
No, it's paper money.
Oh, it's paper money. Okay.
Well, the images I'm finding are paper money. The coin just looks like a coin. There's an eagle on it because there's an eagle infecting everything.
Yeah. Except for a pound coin.
Okay. Let's talk to the American tourist.
Hi, I was wondering whether you could help me.
Why, sure, son. Always got time for a fellow American. The name's Henderson.
John Wayne?
Wayne Henderson.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Henderson.
That sounds
Hell,
like
boy,
John Wayne.
Not in the office. Call me Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Dwayne? My name's George Stobart.
So tell me, Pilgrim, what brings you to Marib? No, it's pronouncing the name properly. An American tourist would never do that.
What do you think of this?
It's a ball. Big deal.
Recognize this?
A clown's red nose.
Have you seen this man before?
Maybe. Where'd you get it?
I just picked it up somewhere.
Maybe
Sure.
I have, and maybe
I'm always
I ain't.
picking up photos of complete strangers and then asking around.
He raises an excellent point.
Ow! Damn it!
There. I've got another picture of a complete stranger. Maybe I'll ask around about this one.
Why is this clear comedic caricature more reasonable than George Stobart?
Do you know the name Merlin?
Nope.
What do you make of this?
A manhole lifting key. So?
Hey,
another one.
how come you recognize it?
Hey, how come you're carrying it?
Yeah, well, let's just drop the subject, shall we?
Do you know what?
You know how
Dwayne-
you can tell this game happened in the 90s and not in the 2000s?
Ow.
The idea of George bringing all this on through airport security post. All right, you have a red ball, clown's nose, a picture. What the? A sewer key? Sir, I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to step into the back room.
A 13th century chalice as well.
A joy buzzer, white powder.
And a tissue with some kind of unrecognizable muck on it.
That could be anthrax.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Look, I've got some plaster of Paris.
Yeah, and I've got a picture of me shaking hands with George Bush. Of course, that was back in '76.
Senior, obviously.
Yeah, it's not really.
I think in
made
'76, George W. Bush Jr. was avoiding going to war. Like, personally. He was avoiding going to Vietnam.
Shake hands, Dwayne.
Why?
Just being friendly.
Let's just be friendly by keeping our hands to ourselves. Yeah?
Well, maybe you could not wear socks and sandals.
What do you make of
In a
this
hot
chalice?
place.
That looks old. Is
Yeah,
it for sale?
so why the socks?
Sorry.
Hey, why are we talking about Dwayne? Why is George come to fucking Syria
With the blazer
with the
and
same
the
clothes,
jeans.
with the same clothes he's had on since the start of the game? And there's been a few days that have gone by since the start of this game.
That's one thing I'll say for, one thing I'll say. It's one of my favorite adventure games. Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father. You go to Africa at some point, you take off your trench coat when you're in Africa.
What do you think of this grease paint stained tissue?
You've been hanging around with actors?
Have you
Not
talked
bad
to
art.
Nijo?
Yes.
Nijo. He's the youngster on that junk stand, right? Yeah, we've met him. He's a smart kid. Speaks 4 languages, and he's never had a day's formal education. He should go far. Kept trying to peddle garbage on us, though.
You're not going to find much worthwhile around here.
I know that, and you know that. But try telling Pearl. She reckons there's antiquities in them door stands.
This reminds me of a level from Fate of Atlantis.
I've not played that game yet.
You should, you really should.
Do you mind if I ask you an odd question?
Okay, but I might not answer it.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
The Knights Templar?
Yep.
Nope. Nothing at all.
Well, you knew they were an order of knights.
What I know and what I say are two different things, boy. I haven't lasted as long as I have in this business without knowing that.
In this business?
Sure. The greetings card business.
Oh, please. I saw a medieval picture of a woman. Royalty or nobility, something like that. She was looking in a mirror, but the reflection was of a man with 3 faces. What do you think of that?
I think you should be in therapy.
I agree, George. Very, very, very much should be in therapy. Yes.
Does the image of a knight holding a crystal ball mean anything to you?
Hell no. What would a knight want with a hunk of glass?
I don't know. That's the prob.
What's wrong, boy?
It's not a crystal ball. It all came together in my head. What
Wait,
the conspirators had mentioned losing. The strange perspective of the manuscript. It's a lens.
Wait, so we figured that out just by talking to this rando? What?
I think it's because he said a hunk of glass. And a crystal ball isn't really a hunk of glass, is it?
No.
Do you think bulls have any significance around here?
Weird question, George. Nope, I don't think they have.
Unfortunately, you're wrong, but okay.
You're a long way from home, Dwayne.
Could say the same about you, George.
Me? Well, I'm just sightseeing, that's all.
Without a camera,
Oh, you are.
kinda lags to come all this way. Not take pictures. Mind if I take a picture of you, George?
Didn't you already do that?
What? Why? Ow! You could have warned me.
You don't mind, do you, George? The folks back home will be real interested.
You saw him get his camera out and take
this
a
is
picture
the
of you.
Second
You
time
had
he's
time
done
to
this,
look
too.
away. You had time to look away.
Where is your wife, Dwayne?
Right over there,
Pearl.
dumbass.
Oh, she's around, looking for bargains.
What does Pearl do for a living?
Oh, I run a greetings card company, and Pearl writes the poems for 'em.
Oh dear.
You ought to ask her to recite some.
Dear God, no.
What exactly do you do, Dwayne?
Didn't I say? Oh, I run a greeting card company. Yep, we're based in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, well, I'll see you around, Dwayne.
Count on it, George.
That's oddly suspicious.
Like the two guy, like that guy on the stall to our right, you can't talk to him, and the guy that Pearl's talking to, you can't talk to him either.
Yeah, the guy who was eating his own fruit.
Yeah, you can look at him and probably get some.
The guy
funny...
running the stand seemed pretty happy. People always want fruit. I wasn't hungry and didn't want to buy fruit, so I didn't start a conversation.
Right, try going to the right of it.
Can I talk to Pearl yet?
He didn't have anything that I needed.
You can come back and talk to her in a bit.
It was
Don't
a guess,
talk to her yet.
but just call me.
So there's stuff we can ask her that we don't have yet?
We can ask her. We don't have to do it now, unless you want to do it now. It's up to you.
We're here. My cat's pushing
Hello.
his face against
I
me.
was
He wants my
wondering whether
attention.
you could help me.
Why, hi there, handsome. What can I do for you?
Hi, my
We're not
name's
from
George.
Ohio.
I was just...
Well, it certainly is delightful to meet you, George.
I was...
My name's Mrs. Henderson, but you can call me Pearl, I'm sure.
Okay, Pearl. I was...
So nice to meet a friendly American face so far from home.
Pearl?
Yes, dear?
I was just wondering if you could help me.
Why, sure, precious.
What does this mean to you?
Gosh, is this some sort of psychological test?
Yes,
No.
we're giving you a appointment comp.
Well, in that case, it's a red ball.
We're giving her the void conf test. Reaction time is a factor in this, so pay attention.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Reminds me of my late Uncle Abner.
Oh? Is he a clown?
No, he was a drunk.
Fair enough.
Have you seen this man before?
No. A friend of yours?
No, not really.
More blood enemy.
Have you ever heard of anybody calling himself
True.
Merlin?
Merlin?
No, Merlin. Merlin. There's an O in there.
Moulin?
You haven't, have you?
No, darling. no moulins.
This guy, so far he's our enemy.
Yeah.
And he will kill us. I'm counting. I'll make sure of it.
Do you know what this is?
Lord, no. It looks painful, though.
It's a sewer key.
Who'd want to break into a sewer?
Not breaking in if you have the key.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You're a philommonist?
Don't they have secret handshakes?
Oh, George, now you're teasing.
I've got some plaster of Paris.
That's nice, dear.
I liked her too much to zap her with the buzzer.
Why?
What do you think of this chalice?
Now that's really pretty.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Oh, it's grease paint. I thought somebody had gaudy taste in makeup.
Do you not know what grease... Never mind.
Do you know anything about medieval weaving?
I do a little needlework, but gosh.
It's okay. It was a long shot.
She's the typical kind of like tourist that is portrayed stereotypically as an idiot.
Have you talked to the boy on the bric-a-brac stand?
Oh, you've met him? His name's Nejo, you know. Oh, he's just so cute, I could die. I'd love to bundle him up and take him back to Ohio.
Man,
he might not thank you.
That's human trafficking.
I'm looking for something ancient, you know. Something to impress the folks back home. The poor boy was trying to do his best, but we still haven't found anything.
Have you ever heard of a group of knights called the Templars?
Sounds familiar. I remember. Dwayne had a book. The Holy Something and the Holy Something Else, I can't quite recall. I read a little of it.
And?
Seemed like a lot of hooey to me.
I've been talking to your husband, Dwayne.
Oh.
Yeah, he tells me that he runs a greeting card company and you write the poems that go in them.
George?
Oh, yes,
no.
indeed. I consider myself the artist
George,
of the family.
Don't.
Tell me, George, would you like to hear one of my poems?
No.
Yes, go on then.
Okay then, darling,
God.
here we go. Our sympathy upon this time, when your heart doth break.
I like the doth.
Classy, isn't it? We know the grief that must entail when your schnauzer gets bitten by a snake. Ah, it still touches me. What do you think, George?
It's very specific, isn't it?
You think so? We sell a lot of those, dear.
So, tell me a little about yourself, Pearl.
Me? Oh, a gentleman's interest is always so flattering.
I see no gentleman. I just see
Well.
George.
My husband and I run a greetings card company in a cute little place called Akron in Ohio.
Of course it's Akron. It's always fucking
Cute,
Akron.
little-
Holy shit.
Hold on. Didn't Dwayne say they were from Cleveland?
What was that, sweetness?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking out loud. I met your husband earlier. He's an interesting man.
That's why I married him.
You said that your company is based in Akron.
And Dwayne said it's in Cleveland, no doubt.
Well, yes, he did.
Dwayne was in the Marines in Vietnam, you know. Anyway, he got a medical discharge. Thing is, he gets confused. We moved away from Cleveland 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
He also gets a little paranoid. Thinks he's a spy or something.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry, Pearl.
Don't worry yourself, George. We live with it.
I've got to go now, Pearl.
It's been a pleasure, George. Don't be a stranger.
I want to talk to... Does Dwayne have anything else to say?
No, no. But if you go over to the right,
He's gonna get some secret agent stuff for us? Oh, yes. Oh, good. I remember you.
The stallholder's face wasn't a great ad for running a kebab stand. Hi, what's your name, sir?
Hello, you buy kebab. Most good.
What do you make of this?
Buy kebab. Most good.
do not ask
What do
him
you
about
think of
everything.
this?
I
Buy
will.
kebab. Come to eat.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, No, you buy kebab.
I'd value your opinion on this, sir.
La, you buy kebab. Nam?
What do you make of this, sir?
You buy kebab. You buy kebab. Yum, most good.
I'd value your opinion on this, sir.
La, you buy kebab. Nam?
What do you make of this, sir?
You buy kebab. You buy kebab. Yum, most good.
I'd value your opinion on this, sir.
La, you buy kebab. Nam?
Meeting of the minds.
What do you make of this, sir?
You buy kebab. You buy kebab. Yum, most good.
I'd value your opinion on this, sir.
La, you buy kebab. Nam?
Well, goodbye. Have a nice day.
Most good.
Right, now go up the stairs to
Can
the
we buy a
right.
kebab? He's kind of sold me on the idea.
No,
Oh,
you
damn
can't.
it. Alright. I kind of want a kebab.
Right, first things first.
So
do you
it's
recognize...
Jafar?
Oh,
Yeah, I recognize the-
night.
I recognize the Club Alamut symbol, of course.
I'm glad you do.
Prince Ali, yes it is he, but not as you know him. Read my lips and I'll come to grips
And
with
unfortunately,
reality.
there's no princess that can
The
show
carpet
George
seller
the
looked
world.
craftier than the offspring of a fox and an insurance agent.
You're a lawyer, shut up.
The carpet in the middle looked familiar somehow.
Well, I would think it did. It is.
You
It
forget,
does.
George is stupid.
It was the pattern. I'd seen that pattern somewhere recently.
You've been
must
holding
have
a
taken
thing
him
in your
all morning
pocket
just
for the
to set
last
up his stall.
number of days with the fucking
I had nothing
pattern
to buy a
on the
carpet
thing.
with,
You
and
showed it to
didn't want
literally
lug one
everyone
around
you've
anyway.
met since you found it.
Hi.
Hello, sir. Lovely carpet.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, carpets, yes?
What do you think of this?
Lovely carpets, yes?
I already know what this video is going to be called.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, carpets, yes?
What are you going to call it?
Of carpets and kebabs.
What do you think of this?
Oh, God.
Lovely carpets, yes?
Does this mean anything to you?
Yes, carpets, yes?
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Ah, give to me, Alamut.
I remember thinking, is this a trap?
We're going to save now, I think.
It's not a trap.
That's not where the dude is?
Nope.
Oh, alright then.
You have to trust me on that. No, the bit where you face the dude is not for a little while yet. It's not in this location, I'll tell you that much.
Got it.
Many beneficent greetings, my most fortunate possible friend.
Huh? Do I know you, mister?
No, and again I say, no. But, my friend, do you not see our mutual good fortune in this meeting?
How frank do you want me to be?
You are a traveler, yes?
Boy, you must be the world's greatest detective.
No, I am told that is Sherlock Holmes of the big forehead and slipper full of shag. I, as contrast, am world's greatest luxury taxi driver.
I can see where this is going.
I am Ultar, taxi driver and luxury guide per excellent, yes.
This I had to hear.
Where does your heart desire to go? Simply mention the name to your obedient servant, and we shall fly there, swift as the eagle.
Oh, well, I don't really want to leave Marib yet, but I'm sure that if I do, you'll be the first to know.
Is good. You know where you want to go, you come to Ultar.
Thanks. See you around, Ultar.
Be having a pleasant day, full of shining experiences and happiness, my friend.
But later on, when you get the money
I don't know why,
for him
but I
to
felt
take
like I
you
could trust this
where
guy.
you need to go, when you get it and you ask him to do it, don't say yes straight away. Say no, because you get quite a funny conversation. I'll let you know when that
was
is.
nearly full. What do they sell here? Drinks or expectorants? Even if I'd wanted to spit, my mouth was too dry. Damn, the door's locked. I'm sorry? Did you say something?
He say you not to go in toilet. Read sign, matey.
Matey?
It lose something in translation.
I knew the door was locked.
You should be able to look at the sign in the door. Do it in a second.
I hadn't felt the need to spit since I was 12. The outside of the ornate spittoon was beautiful. The inside wasn't. My Arabic,
talk to the barman
Russian,
as well.
and Japanese have a lot in common. I can't read a word of any of them. The notice didn't mean anything to me.
Try talking to the man behind the bar as well.
By staring hard at the notice and squinting, I discovered I couldn't understand a word of it.
Fair enough.
I don't know why. The club manager's bonhomie seemed forced. Looking at the place, I could understand that. This is definitely not what they meant when they said the joint was jumping. Hi! Nice club you've got here. I was wondering if you could help me. What? I mean, I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
No surprise there, all righty. He says sorry, but he not speak English.
But he didn't say anything.
He not have tongue.
No tongue? What happened?
It was bet.
And he lost.
He won. You should see other chappie. Oh, yes.
Hello again, friend. There wasn't much point in trying to launch an in-depth conversation when I couldn't speak Arabic and he couldn't speak. Period. Hello again, Ultar.
Great hellos, munificent foreigner, and possible future client.
Well, you never know. Would you mind talking to me?
Is most agreeable. This is how Ultar learns such splendid English, yes? Yes.
Oh, good. We can talk to him about a lot of stuff.
Yep.
What do you think of this ball?
Is most splendid, mister.
Look at this.
Is a red ball with a hole in it.
No, it's a clown's nose.
Does clown know you have his nose?
I really hope not. Have you seen this man before?
Oh, most certainly. Was here only yesterday.
Here? Yesterday? My God, he's close.
Got a lead.
Yes, he was asking lot of questions, just like you.
What did he ask about?
He asked about American called Stoby.
Oh, dear.
Stobart?
Yes, Stobart. You know him.
The killer knew my name. What else did he ask about?
He asked about German man called Klobner.
I tried to remember the name of the man the conspiracy had lost in Syria. Was his name Klausner?
Sure, that is what Ultar said. Klausner. I told this man in the picture, Klausner wanted to go up to Bull's Head.
Hold on, he wanted to go where?
Bull's Head. Big hill, 10 mile out of town. Maybe 60.
When was that?
Oh, maybe a week ago.
We have our heading. We have actual information from someone about this guy finally.
Yes.
Have a look at this.
Shiny.
This is a key for lifting manhole covers.
You carry some strange stuff with you, mister.
You have no idea.
What do you think of this plaster?
Not much there. Not enough to make tasteful garden gnome, for example.
I don't know why. That's just
No,
that
I'm
got me.
laughing at-
That got me. I don't know why that got me.
I'm not laughing at that per se. I'm laughing at what you say about the shake and shock.
Well, it's banned by the Geneva Convention.
No, ask him.
Shake my hand, Ultar.
Ha ha! Remind me of thing that happened month ago. Maybe 6. Man come up to Ultar, say, shake hands, Ultar. But man have electric buzz thing in his hand. Ha ha! How we laughed! Then I broke his arms.
Yes, all right.
I didn't think electrocuting the big Syrian was a good idea. Have you ever seen anything like this chalice?
No,
What does this grease paint stained tissue mean to you?
nothing. Why? What does grease paint stained tissue mean to you?
What can you
Reverse
tell me about this
psychology.
Bull's
I
Head
like
Hill?
Is most magnificent, lovely views, worth visiting, yes, by indeedity.
How do I get there? No. Let me guess.
You need fine luxury guide to take you there in air-conditioned taxi.
Woe is me. Where can I find such a guide?
And Ultar is most luxurious guide for most literally some way, in any direction.
Gee willikers, lucky old me.
Are you desirous of my pleasant and luxuriant service?
What do we say? We don't have any money.
You can say yes.
All right, let's go.
First, I regret the formalities. A trip to the Bull's Head, 50 Yankee dollars, please.
$50? I don't have $50.
Oh, most unhappy event. Ultar then sorry, but he cannot take you on ride of lifetime.
Hold on, Ultar. Is there nothing I could barter with you?
Word that it was so, beloved friend. But my taxi needs gas, and its muffler needs the muffler doctor. Trading for these things is not possible. My heart weeps for the injustice, but it's bucks or zip, or unfortunate American.
Could you tell me what that sign means?
It's a door stay shut until brush come back. Signed, the management.
Oh, well, what does that mean?
Manager buy lovely new toilet brush, leaves it by wash basin for 10 minutes. Come back, it been stolen. Not even out of wrapper. He damn cross. Lock up toilet and say, nobody use fine pristine toilet until brush given back. We say, what we do till then, eh? He say, cross legs and use superior willpower.
And that's what you've been doing?
No, Ultar use bucket.
Oh God, good point. All right, never mind. I just noticed remembered the spittoons.
No, he's not using them.
Have you met the American couple?
Have Ultar met them? Have Ultar met them? Yes, Ultar have met them.
And?
They most ungenerous. Ultar offer to show them wonders of countryside. They say, is there anything ancient? Ultar say, yes, of course. Nature is ancient. They say, no, anything ancient made by men. And Ultar say, have you seen Taxi? Fan belt older than Ozymandias. Ha 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 ha! But they gone.
What do you know about the kebab seller?
A most miserable man. Ultar say, cheery up, matey mate, it might never happen. And he say, shut up, Ultar.
Fancy that.
Not at all. Arto has face like the drizzle that falls on the midweek afternoon. Whatever that is.
Do you know anything about the Templars?
Of course.
Yes? What can you tell me?
Great she-bop band of the 60s.
No, that's not really...
Who put the bop in the bop, 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 bop?
Yeah, eternal questions.
He didn't even try with that one.
What do you make of that boy in the market, Nejo?
Nejo? Ha! Ayub's boy is too big for sandals. I speak splendid English and he laugh. He say, Ultar, you big ox, you split infinitive. I say, I split your head if you stay still long enough. Ha 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 ha! Ho 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 ho! Pretty funny, yes?
Hilarious. You should be on cable. This place is certainly hard to find.
Oh yes, it is most exclusive. The membership can be no more than... Kind sir, what would you guess the population of the village to be?
Gee, I don't know, a couple of thousand?
Then I would estimate the membership to be no more than a couple of thousand.
See you around, Ultar.
Fare you most splendid, good sir.
So we got to find a
Right,
toilet brush.
Yes.
Anything else to do in here for the moment?
Nope, nothing else to do in here. Let's go back down. And, I wonder if you can guess who might have the brush.
Nijo.
No,
No, not Nijo.
not Nijo.
Is it the kebab seller?
Go and have a look and see. Just examine him. Just look at
That's a toilet brush.
In the still air, the smell hung around like bad smells do.
actually look at him. Just look as if you're talking to him, but look at him.
It was a kebab stand, and an ugly one at that. Suddenly, I realized the horrific truth. The guy was basting the kebabs with a toilet brush. It may never have seen the inside of a toilet bowl, but it was still hardly appetizing.
So you can't get, you
Hello
can't
again,
ask for
sir.
it.
Hello, kebab? Yes?
So
Well,
go and talk to Nijo. now.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
All right.
Most good.
Yes, most good.
But when you look at Nijo's stall, there should be something next to Nijo on the stand. You see, it's right next to him on the edge, nearest him. That's it. Try pressing that.
Hi, Nijo.
That and see what.
Hello
Oh, after
again,
you spoke to
sir.
Nijo.
And how may I help you this time?
What do you know about that couple?
Oh, they're American.
Is that all?
The chap's a little odd. As for the lady, it's a funny thing, but I get the impression she's a lot cleverer than she's letting on.
Interesting.
I met an interesting guy earlier, a cab driver.
Ah, that would have to be Ultar, a barbaric sort of chap.
Oh, he's not that bad.
You know how he speaks in pidgin English? That's how he speaks in Arabic too.
Oh, dear.
Who's the guy selling the kebabs?
Oh, that's Arto, a miserable blighter to be sure, sir.
He doesn't seem very happy.
He never is. Day in, day out, a face like a wet Wednesday. Whatever one of those is.
Does he speak any English?
Not cogently, no.
Look, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I need Arto's brush.
What? The brush he bastes the kebabs with?
Yes.
Let me find some dirty postcards for you instead.
Nijo, this is serious. Arto stole that brush he's using from a friend, and I want to get it back.
Perhaps I could help you, old chap. Maybe? Perhaps?
Maybe what? Perhaps what?
I do not wish to seem mercenary, sir, but I am a merchant, and merchants trade.
Merchant? This isn't Sears and Roebuck here.
Well, if you're going to be disagreeable...
No, you're right. What would you like?
I seem to recall that you have something that might alleviate my boredom. A globe of delight, a Rubicon spheroid of heavenly pleasure.
You mean the ball, don't you?
A tiny spherular form that barely spans my hand, yet promises hours of amusement.
If you mean the ball, why don't you just say so?
Can I have the ball back, mister?
Is there something
You say-
funny if we say no? Can we say yes later?
You can say no if you want to, and then say yes afterwards. It's up to you.
No, kid. I might need this some other time.
Yes, of course you will. How can a jet-setting man like yourself live without a small red ball in his pocket?
That's a good point. You've convinced me to keep it.
See you around, Nijo.
Ta-ta for now, sir.
You might as well give it to him.
Well, I want to see what happens if we ring the bell without asking him.
Hello again, Pearl.
Why, hello, George.
Have you met the taxi man, Ultar?
Heavens, yes. What a big man. Very muscular.
But you didn't go for a ride.
Why, George, you're absolutely the most... Oh, you mean a taxi ride? No, Dwayne wasn't interested, so it didn't happen.
Have you ever heard of a hill called the Bull's Head?
No. No, I haven't. Is it nearby?
I'm not sure.
Sounds awful romantic. The Bull's Head Hill.
Have you had anything from the kebab stand?
Heavens, no, with my digestion.
I've got to go now, Pearl.
It's been a pleasure, George.
Okay, so we had a little more information.
Hi there, Dwayne.
What Crazy Dwayne has to say.
Hi there, George. How can I help you, young fella?
Have you ever heard of a hill called the Bull's Head?
Can't say as I have. Where's that?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
Bull's Head, huh? I must remember that. Sounds scenic.
Have you met Ultar?
Almost luxurious air-conditioned taxi ride, mister.
Yeah, the cabbie.
Tried to pull a bunco on us. Take us on a wild goose chase off into nowhere.
Have you had any dealings with the kebab seller?
Absolutely not. Pearl's already had one attack of Montezuma's revenge.
Okay, well, I'll see you around, Dwayne.
Count on it, George.
Making him walk funny.
It was the sort of bell you see in hotel receptions. Kind of unexpected here.
Who was that gentleman who came out?
That's Nido's father.
Ah.
Hi, Nijo.
Hello again, sir. And how may I help you?
Is that your father lurking in the back of the stand?
He is indeed a roaring fellow. Ayub's his name.
You don't sound like you respect him very much.
Don't I? Not only do I respect him, I rather like him. For all his bluster, we get on very well. I've already told you. I'll help you if you give me the ball. What's it to be?
All right, here you go.
People say bad things about Americans, but you're okay in my book.
You'll change
What
your
people?
tune in a
What
few
bad
years.
things?
Never mind that now. Remember the brush?
Right, yes, the brush.
All you have to do with Arto is be polite. It lightens his day, makes it all worthwhile for him again.
How can I be polite to the guy when I can't speak a word of Syrian?
Arabic.
That's what I meant.
Simply memorize this phrase. Il-ach il-kalb.
Il akal kalb.
Close enough. Now, go over to Arto and deliver those honeyed words even unto his delicate ear. He won't be able to do enough for you.
Really?
Really.
What exactly does il akal kalb mean?
A polite but subtly complimentary greeting. He won't be able to do enough for you.
So long,
Right,
Nijo.
go and say it to...
That we will do next time. Hopefully,
Okie dokie.
hopefully, we are insulting his mother and he will stab George Stobart. We can only hope. We can only hope this will lead to George's death.
Oh dear, you're determined to get him killed, aren't you?
And I already have twice.
Yes, you have. No, well, 3 times actually.
2 of those are one of those is a repeat.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Yep, ciao.
Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played, edited, and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato.
And he's been helped by me, Classic Gamer.
You can find a link to Classic's YouTube channel, Classics Gamer, and his Twitch in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.